Hello, everyone. This is Ivan Ju. Welcome to today's lecture on pricing products. Today, we'll explore one of the most important decisions businesses make: how to price products and services. Pricing impacts profitability, customer perception, competition, and ultimately whether a company succeeds or fails. By the end of this lecture, you should understand the role of pricing in the marketing mix, the psychology behind pricing decisions, the 5 critical C's of pricing, the process companies use to establish pricing policies, different pricing strategies for new and existing products, and ethical and unethical pricing practices. So let's begin with a mindset exercise. I can turn obstacles into stepping stones for success. I am building a foundation of knowledge that will support me in the future. I am capable of exceeding my own expectations. These affirmations remind us that learning business concepts like pricing helps build real-world decision-making skills. So what is pricing? Pricing is the process of exchanging something of value for something of value. In business, customers exchange money, businesses exchange products or services, and a pricing strategy benefits both sides. Customers feel they receive value, and companies then generate profit. Why pricing matters? Pricing is unique because it is the only element of the marketing mix that directly generates revenue. The other elements are product, promotion, place, and these 3 all create costs. Pricing affects sales volume, brand perception, customer loyalty, competitive position, and profitability. There are also other elements to determine pricing. Determining sales force size, consider the complexity of the product, profit margins on sales, and the number of customers in the market. Recruiting and selecting salespeople, self-motivation, time management, optimism, empathy, and ability to network. And then training, formal and informal training, mentor or shadowing, company, product, market, and customer-based. So why is price an indicator of value? Consumers often associate price with quality. Here are some examples: luxury watches, designer handbags, premium smartphones. The higher prices can create the perception that the product is superior, they're more exclusive, they're higher quality. However, if pricing is too high, customers may simply just walk away. So here are the profit basics. What is profit exactly? Profit is the following equation. Profit equals total revenue minus total costs. There are some important terms to remember. Total revenue is money generated from sales. Fixed costs are costs that stay the same regardless of production. Examples of this include rent, salaries, and insurance. Variable costs are costs that change based on production. Examples of this include raw materials, packaging, and shipping. So what is the psychology of pricing? Pricing is not just math, it is actually psychology. Consumers often make emotional purchasing decisions. Price anchoring. An anchor price becomes the customer's point of reference. As an example, the original price of a unit is $199, but the sale price is $99. The customer compares the new price to the anchor and perceives a bargain. Artificial time constraints. Businesses create urgency through limited time offers, flash sales, countdown timers. This encourages customers to act quickly. So as an example, the sale ends tonight, or only 2 are left in stock. All right, price appearance. Small visual differences that affect perception. Examples: $25 without the decimal point feels simpler than $25 with the decimal and 00 afterward. $9.99 feels cheaper than $10. Even though the difference is tiny, consumer psychology reacts differently. So, what are the 5 critical C's of pricing? Companies consider the 5 major factors when setting prices. Number 1, cost. This includes fixed costs, variable costs, and in this case, the businesses must price high enough to cover costs and earn profit. Number 2, customers. Companies must understand what customers want, what they are willing to pay, and then realize that a product is only worth what customers believe it is worth. Number 3, channels of distribution. Intermediaries like retailers, distributors, wholesalers, they all need profit margins too. Pricing must support everyone in the supply chain. Number 4, competition. Competitors influence pricing decisions. Companies ask, what alternatives exist? How are competitors pricing? How do consumers compare products? Number 5, compatibility. Pricing must align with market conditions, consumer income, company profitability goals. So how do we establish pricing policy? Companies typically follow a 5-step process. Let's go through each of these 5 steps. Number 1, determine price objectives. Businesses must define their goals. Common objectives include objective along with a purpose. In examples below, customer value focuses on perceived value. Cost-based cover production costs. Sales-oriented is meant to increase sales volume. Market share is meant to grow market presence. Target return is meant to achieve specific profit. Competition-based is meant to match competitors. Customer-driven is meant to match willingness to pay. Estimating demand. Companies study the demand curve. Normally, higher prices translate to lower demand. Lower prices translate to higher demand. However, luxury products sometimes break this rule. In prestige pricing, higher prices can increase perceived value. Examples of this include Rolex, Gucci, Tesla performance models. In these cases, higher price can increase desirability. Demand elasticity. Elasticity measures how sensitive customers are to price changes. The factors affecting elasticity and availability of substitutes. More alternatives equals higher elasticity. Income. Customers with lower income are more price sensitive. And in time. Customers may adapt to price changes over time. Cross elasticity. Demand changes when competitors change prices. As an example, if Pepsi raises prices, some consumers may choose to buy Coke instead. So step 3, estimate costs. Companies calculate production costs, operation costs, distribution costs. Accurate cost estimation is essential for profitability. If costs are underestimated, businesses can lose money even with strong sales. The factors of external environment can be remembered by the acronym PESTLE, P-E-S-T-L-E. What is the PESTLE analysis? Well, let's break down the acronym. Political. Government regulations or taxes. As an example, drug price caps. Economic. Inflation, recession, unemployment. As an example, consumers spend less during recessions. Social. Cultural trends and consumer behavior. As an example, increased interest in electric vehicles. Technological. Innovation and obsolescence. As an example, older technology often requires price reductions. Legal. Laws affecting products or pricing. As an example, environmental regulations. Environmental. Sustainability and environmental concerns. As an example, eco-friendly products may justify premium pricing. It is important to analyze competitor costs, prices, and products when setting prices. This should include current and potential competition. The information gained from this study will provide the key to making pricing decisions. As a product and its substitutes move through the stages of the product cycle of life, marketers might need to make price adjustments. The status of the economy has a significant impact, positive or negative, on consumers' ability to purchase products and services. These factors are unemployment rate, discretionary income, inflation, consumer confidence. After all the data has been gathered and analyzed, marketers can set their prices. So what are the pricing strategies for new products? Well, these strategies include price skimming. Companies launch products at very high prices. Then gradually they lower prices over time. The advantages of this include higher early profits, premium brand image. But disadvantages include attracting competitors, limiting customer base initially. Examples include new smartphones, gaming consoles. Penetration pricing. Companies set low prices initially. The goal? Gain market share quickly. The advantages are rapid customer adoption, discouraging competitors. However, the disadvantages are lower initial profits, harder to raise prices later. An example of this would be streaming services or new apps. Break-even pricing. Companies calculate the price needed to recover costs. Break-even occurs when fixed costs are divided by the unit price minus variable unit costs. Product line pricing is when pricing differs for product lines. As an example, higher and lower to appeal to different target markets. Captive product pricing is when you buy a core product like a razor and having to make an ongoing captive product purchase like razor blades. Bundle pricing includes multiple products priced together. As an example, fast food, cleaning products bundled in multiples, buy one service for X and add another service for half price. Psychological pricing, or odd and even pricing. Psychologically, the odd price point appears less expensive even if it is only by a very little. Economic pricing. Name brand prices are higher than the store brand prices, or a new stylist might offer services significantly lower than a master stylist. This pricing is based on what the name brands put into marketing or what the stylist lacks in experience. Price fixing. Price fixing involves two or more companies conspiring to set prices. Deceptive, illegal price advertising. This entails advertising a product's original price as X compared to the new price of Y when the product has not been marketing at X. Predatory pricing. This is a practice that is generally illegal and happens when a company prices a product so low that other companies cannot compete. The competition drops out of the market, and then the predatory company raises its prices. Price discrimination. This is charging different prices to customers based on what they might agree to. Monopoly gouging. This is an increase in the price when it is not considered fair or competitive, such as during natural disasters and at times when products are in limited supply. So in closing, today we reviewed pricing is a critical part of marketing strategy. Consumer psychology strongly affects pricing decisions. Businesses use the 5 critical C's when pricing products. Companies follow structured pricing policies. Different strategies for pricing serve different business goals. Ethical pricing matters for long-term trust and success. So here are the next steps. Before next class, review the pricing strategies discussed today. Identify real-world examples of each pricing strategy. Observe psychological pricing techniques in stores or online shopping sites. Thank you, everyone. Please feel free to reach out to me if any questions. Have a great rest of the week and take care. Bye for now.